This deck of playing cards right here is a fully marked deck. Now, what's a fully marked deck? That means you can actually tell what the face is based upon the back design. So I'd be able to tell that this was a 5 of diamonds based on the back. I'll give it a couple of cuts to a random spot in the deck and be able to tell you that this is the 6 of hearts. Yeah, works every time. I would 100% recommend this deck, but first, let me teach you how to read this back design. These are the Midnight NOC playing cards by both NOC playing cards, which they collabed with Theory 11 for. Most of the NOC decks are only marked for suit, but this one is a fully marked deck, which is both for suit and value. So this image right here is going to show you one thing only, and that is going to be the orientation of this deck of playing cards. Every single playing card has one way that it's faced up and one way that's faced down. What I mean by that is that the 7 of diamonds right here, if you have it here versus you have it here, you can tell that this way has it on top and this way has it on bottom. That means you can tell if it's a one-way design. Versus, for instance, the 4 of clubs, right now you can't tell which way is up and down. So when it comes to this back design right here, you'll have a medium white outer border, then a thin black line, a thin white line, and then the thick middle black part. We're going to be looking at the top left and bottom right corners where the thin white line meets the thin black line. You'll see that in the top left corner where the white meets the white part has a little bit of a corner to it where the bottom right is rounded. And wherever the point is, that means that is going to be face up. The next thing we're going to look at is the suits. So this right here is going to be a spade. Now, how can you distinguish the difference? This is going to be the outside of the thin black line. If you look on the outside and see that one of the 4 corners is pointed, that means it's going to be a spade. The way that I remember that is because a spade pip only has the 1 point at the top. If you see 2 pointed edges here, you're going to know it is a heart. The way I remember this one is that the heart has 2 humps. If you see one that has 3 pointed edges, that means it's going to be clubs because a club has the 3 edges to it. And lastly, if it has 4 pointed corners, that means it's going to be a diamond for the 4 points on the diamond. At this point, you know both how to read the orientation and the suits for this deck of playing cards. But knowing that's not enough, so let's get into the value. Right now, we're back to the picture of the ace of spades. Now, how can you tell what the value is? This is the point where you look at the outside of the inner black square. You're going to be doing this counterclockwise. So from the top left to the bottom left, the bottom right, and then the top right. That is the order that you'll look at it in. So the top left represents 1, the bottom left represents 2, the bottom right represents 4, and the top right represents 8. Now those are kind of strange numbers. Why would those matter? Those are actually all of the square numbers. You can use those 4 numbers to add up to 15 because you can double it every single time. So the next numbers would be something like 16 and then 32 and 64. But we'll stop with just these 4 for now. So what you have to do is be able to count up which ones are pointed. So clearly right here on the ace, only the top left is pointed, which means it is only 1. The 2 right here is only going to have the bottom left pointed. The 3, as you can see, has both the top left and bottom left pointed. 4 is just bottom right. 5 is top left and bottom right. 6 is bottom left and bottom right. 7 is top left, and bottom right. 8 is now just top right. 9 is top left and top right. 10 is bottom left and top right. The jack or 11 is going to be top left, and top right. The queen is going to be bottom right and top right. And the king is going to be top left, bottom right, and top right. In this deck, you also get jokers, an add card, and a double backer, but all of those are completely rounded everywhere. So now let's put your new skills to the test. I'm going to give this deck a quick shuffle right here. No cuts, no anything, and see if you can guess it on the spot. So I'm going to have you leave your guess in the comments, and if you guess it right, I will make sure to let you know. So let's take and give it one cut, just like so, and see what this card right here is. That one shouldn't be too hard, but you know what? I guess we're going to find out. So we have this one right here, so see if you can guess in the comments. This is neither the easiest nor hardest deck that I have to read from Marked Decks perspective. So if you want to see the whole Marked Decks playlist, I will leave them right there, and that is where I reveal every single one. You can also check out my deck reviews playlist there, and make sure to subscribe while you're at it. And if you like behind the scenes bonus content, check out Patreon, linked in description below. That's all I can say for now. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. This is Card Perfect, signing off.